Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of February, 2020. And on Sunday, we published a video entitled, "Is this a competitor to gold and silver when main equity markets collapse?" where we talked about frontier market investments. And on Saturday, our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 14th of February. Now today is really important, as at the time of writing, gold has shot through the $1,600 level and silver has shot through the $18 level. In fact, as at 17:30 GMT, gold is $16.02 and silver is $18.18. So following Monday's opening, gold gradually moved up. But it was President's Day holiday in America, and the majority of analysts were impressed with the rise, but felt that as the US markets were not open, it was the result of thin trade. However, about 2 to 3 hours or so ago, gold then started to jump, and is currently $21 higher than Monday's opening price. Similarly, silver too has jumped shortly after gold, and is some 43 cents higher than its opening price on Monday. Now we have to take a look to see what the catalyst has been to cause this to occur. But some background information first. The Dow is currently down 242 points, or just over 0.8%, with the other US indexes down 0.4 to 0.7%. Similar falls in Europe have occurred, and much higher falls, closer in fact to 1.5%, in most Asian bourses. Well, the first catalyst was Apple declaring that as a result of the coronavirus, it would miss its sales target for the quarter, especially as there's been manufacturing delays and closed retail stores in China. It's important to bear in mind that around 17% of Apple's 2019 revenue came from China. Now, pardon the pun, it's not a sum to be sneezed at. Sorry, could not resist that one. This caused Apple shares to initially fall by 4% pre-market and then 6% at one stage, recovering somewhat but still down 2.6% at the moment, with markets still yet a few hours before closure. But as we mentioned in Sunday's video, and others on equity markets, much of the indexes are dictated by a handful of stocks, and Apple is one of them. Secondly, HSBC announced a major restructuring that involved shredding $100 billion worth of assets and 35,000 jobs over 3 years, highlighting at the same time that the coronavirus is having and has had a significant impact on its Asian business. Thirdly, the euro fell against the dollar to $1.08 to the euro, in fact marginally below that level at one point, after January's German ZEW or ZEW survey warned of more pain ahead for the troubled Eurozone economy, which threatens to push the single currency to new multi-year lows against the dollar this quarter, already now having reached a 3-year low so far. Fourth, it's been suggested that US President Donald Trump's administration is considering changing regulations to allow it to block shipments of chips to China's Huawei from companies such as Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Co., the world's largest contract chip maker. And this has also taken its effect on equity markets. Now, of course, we know when equity markets fall, these monies have to move elsewhere, and they tend to go into what are deemed safe haven assets, and gold particularly, and silver as a consequence, benefit. Now, the coronavirus info at present indicates that the number of new cases have actually fallen below 2,000 for the first time since January, but the death toll has risen to 1,868 according to the National Health Commission. So, all this combined has resulted in gold reaching a 1-month high, with silver following in its footsteps. Bart Melek, the head of commodity strategies at TD Securities, stated to Reuters, quote, "There are concerns that this whole coronavirus situation may be a little worse than many expected, and the implication is that central banks around the world will be somewhat more dovish, and the market is starting to price this reality in," unquote. As listeners to this channel know, we're one of the first to raise the coronavirus alert, not over panicking over it, but pointing out it could have far more reaching effects than people at first realized. Now, we must also not forget that yesterday, China's central bank cut interest rates on its medium-term loans in order to help accommodate the economy. Naturally, this causes other central banks to consider similar, though there have been no official announcements as yet with the major financial institutions, but this may be shortly coming. That said, ironically, the dollar index strengthens yet again and is now standing at 99.32. Now, this is important because if the markets sense that the Fed may be forced to cut rates if other central banks have to in the coming weeks, this will act as a tailwind for gold and silver prices. Now, we're still moderately confident for now that gold will vacillate between the 1550 and 1650 band that we've quoted for a little while, and silver the 1750 to 1850 band, both of which we mentioned on Saturday. But it won't take a large amount of additional negative news to break through these levels, particularly with the coronavirus sensitivities being so high. This is good news for gold and silver bulls, but we also have to accept this position could correct itself pretty quickly as well. We suspect for the moment, though, that investors are waiting to see what happens during the next couple of days, with tomorrow's producer price index figures due out and Friday's flash manufacturing services PMIs before perhaps fixing their sails to the mast. Now let's watch this space, and tomorrow on the Richard and Greg YouTube channel we shall have an update on the coronavirus situation. While yesterday we posted an interesting one on climate change, highlighting that Jeff Bezos is committing $10 billion to the cause. And Greg's typical retort, quote, "It would be better if he spent that money paying his taxes," unquote. Difficult to argue with that one. Thank you for listening. Please, if you haven't already done so, do subscribe to our channel. Press the bell sign so that you are notified of our videos as and when they are published. We have placed links to our two new YouTube channels below: Richard and Greg, Discussion, Debate and Argument, and Trump for President 2020, for those of you who are actually interested in these subjects. We have also placed links to interesting books on gold, silver, rare coins, and also on global monetary and economic strategy. In addition, we've provided links for those who wish to protect themselves to some degree against the coronavirus, and these are again listed in the description box below. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.